The narcissist wants people around them that are gonna go along with the lies that they tell everyone. That includes the friends they have, the romantic partners they have. They want yes people. They want people that are not going to question their gaslighting, their manipulation, their lies. If you're watching a video like this thinking, what type of person does the narcissist want around them? Because you want to be one of those people, you need to question why you are susceptible to a narcissist manipulation. Why is it that you're watching a video like this? Hopefully, you're watching it with the intent to understand the type of person that can be manipulated by a narcissist. I, at one point, was a person like that. The narcissist liked having me around because I had things they wanted. Most narcissistic people are very goal oriented, and that isn't necessarily a money thing. That can be them wanting your attention, what is called narcissistic supply. They could want you to tell them they're beautiful, that give them validation by being their romantic partner. The narcissist's sense of identity is very dependent on other people. Many narcissists don't like being alone because, for one, they're in bad company. When you are a bad person, when you're by yourself, that means you're with a bad person. And second, the way they interact with people, it's very dependent on your reaction. That's why the people recommend things like gray rocking, where you just become non-reactionary to the narcissist, and they eventually get mad and they ramp up the abuse. And if you just keep gray rocking them, they kind of give up or they stop talking to you because their whole way of relating to other people is based on, it's a very new age term, but what people call energy vampires. They are an energy vampire. They need your life force, your blood to survive. That is what a narcissist is. And if you aren't giving it to them by simply not by going no contact, by not reacting to their BS, they're not going to want to be around you. The type of person, because narcissists are very shady people, and they move from person to person, from group to group very often, because that is what deceptive, abusive people do. They eventually are going to cross the people they're around, and obviously when you screw someone over, when you break up with them or cheat on them, steal from them, etc., those people aren't going to like you anymore, and they're not going to trust you anymore, and you have to go start fresh. This is why the narcissist is always bouncing around, and the rare times you do see them have a long-term friend or lover, it's someone who has been caught in their web of lies, and typically that person is very lost. Unfortunately, the type of person that is a long-term friend or lover or anything like that, besides maybe family, but even family, anyone that interacts with a narcissist for a long time is in a sense either tied to them by obligations or force, in a sense, like they're married to them and there's a legal contract where they have to kind of interact with that person, or the person the narcissist is with, let's say a friend, let's say they've had a best friend for a long time, somehow it's probably a friend who may have a personality sort of their own. It might be another narcissist, and they kind of team up like villains, like the like criminals, and they do narcissistic stuff together. Or it could be someone that's like has a borderline personality disorder, or someone who's like very depressed and just susceptible to being manipulated, and someone who is very easily swayed by other people. it's one of the hard truths of the empath community. Yes, there are true empaths, but a true empath, and that word is very new. It's a very new agey term, but an empath, someone who can really put themselves in other people's shoes, someone who feels other people's emotions to their own. As people who identify as an empath can tell you, that is a very uncomfortable experience sometimes, and sometimes it's hard to shut off. And if and but sometimes a true empath, someone that has like almost like psychic abilities, can be confused for someone that is maybe borderline, maybe bipolar, someone who or maybe an autistic person. And these type of people are very susceptible to the narcissist charm and manipulation, and it'll be very hard for them to break out of that spell that the narcissist has put them under. Every time I've seen someone be in the narcissist life long term, it's either someone who has some sort of disorder going on, or just someone who's very naive, or in a very bad place mentally and emotionally, and does not know how to get out of the situation. Sometimes it's family, right? Sometimes it's mother, daughter, brother, sister, and it just there's this connection there that they can't break, and they know this person is toxic, but they can't seem to let them go because blood is your family is something that's it's very hard to abandon your family, right? Or it might be like friends that I've seen narcissists have long-term friends that are very similar to them, right? They might not have NPD, but it's another friend that has very narcissistic personality traits. Or they might, be like coworkers, and they're both pretty toxic, and they both live that lifestyle. And also what I've noticed from those friends as well is even someone who is perhaps a long-term acquaintance or a friend, or someone that interacts with the narcissist long term, there's always on and off periods. As you probably noticed yourself in this relationship with a narcissist, it's always on and off. They're always taking breaks from you, and that's for many reasons. It's because they need to go out and get supply from other people, right? You can only give them so much, and the personality of a narcissist is almost a personality of addiction. It's almost like they're addicted to narcissistic supply, whatever that might be. And anyone who knows anything about addiction, it's someone can be addicted to one thing, right? Like someone can be a crack addict and they just want more and more crack, but they need a more and more of a dose. They need more of a high, and it's always something else. But the addict mind, and even if someone who's hyper focused on one addiction, like narcissistic supply or like the crack addict, they are very erratic. They're always doing other things. They're always chasing for that next high, and you'll see it bleed out into other parts of their personality. You'll see them, um, maybe they gamble, maybe they take really big risks, right? They probably steal. That's just like the narcissist. The narcissist, that you don't just have a personality and it only affects one part of your life, right? If you're an introvert, you're not just an introvert at your house. You're an introvert when you go to work, you're an introvert with your friends, etc. The narcissistic personality is the same way. They live this very addictive lifestyle of I need this person to be my friend so I can have them, be my yes man, my hype man, and tell me that I'm the best person in the world, even though I am a narcissist and I am a terrible person. I need that person to take money from. I need that person to be my boyfriend, girlfriend, etc. So if you are around a narcissist, and here's what I don't see everyone, including the self-aware narcissists on YouTube, are gonna tell you: get away from the narcissist. And they're repeating all of the traits of narcissism, and the videos are just very repetitive. But where I've had where I finally healed, where I finally moved on from this person and just left it in the past, is I started working on myself. I started to take responsibility. And while I'm not victim blaming, while I'm not saying that anyone is deserving of abuse or that anyone asked for this, because no, it's no. But point being is you have to see what kept me or what's still keeping you in this relationship with this toxic person. Why can't you stop thinking about them? What is causing those intrusive thoughts? Delve deep within yourself and figure out why you're still watching videos like this. Figure out why you can't move on from this person. I came to the conclusion that I had some form of PTSD, some kind of trauma thing had happened to me because I had been in this very toxic relationship. And it was a lot of shame and guilt around that. And it just felt silly as, as society tells men to be strong, if like how could I be this damaged from dating someone, It just there was a lot of shame and denial and running away from myself. If you are wondering what kind of person hangs around a narcissist, it's blind people. Blind in the sense that they are living toxic lifestyles because a good, like I'm saying, like if you see the people who hang around a narcissist, yeah, the narcissist, just like everyone else, has people from all walks of life, but they aren't hanging around with very clean cut, like doctors, just good people, right? Church go, like, there's narcissists in the church, but I'm saying they hang around their main group of friends, the people that they're around the most. It's other narcissistic people. It's other toxic people. It's and not and on besides that, it's damaged people. It's people who have low self-worth like I had at one point. It's people who, and it happens to people from all walks of life. It happens to people from everyone from like, and I'm not knocking anybody's profession, but from the janitor to the doctor, that, it happens to everyone. And it could also just be someone who unfortunately trusted someone that put on a very good show for them and they got emotionally invested and now they've become stuck, right? There's always I feel the key to understanding narcissists and in a sense, they're an enigma. You're never going to fully understand a disordered person's mind. Just like if you're a healthy person and you can read books on schizophrenia and a schizophrenic can tell you their experiences, but you're never going to know what it's like to be a schizophrenic. You're never really going to know how disordered the narcissist mind is. What you can do and what you should do is figure out what's involving you, what's obsessing you about being in friendships, relationships with this person, and figure out what's causing you to be stuck in the situation, and that's what's gonna really let you heal. That's what's really gonna let you move on, and you're not even gonna care what type of people hang around a narcissist anymore. You're gonna just know that it's people that are in a place in life that a narcissist they're susceptible to being with a narcissist, but the goal should be to heal and get to a point where hanging out with a narcissist sounds like to you should sound like getting your wisdom teeth pulled. It's like, oh, like I would rather I would rather not.